Today I'm going to teach you how to play the game Asteroid. This is a really fun game whether you are in class, whether you're in class but have to stay 6 feet away, or even if you're distance learning, you can totally play it over the computer, and I'm going to show you how. So the original way to play Asteroid is this. You go in your classroom, and each student gets their home base. Now, if you are in your own classroom, this could just be their assigned seat. Otherwise, you can do something a little more fun. I've done it, usually I use a piece of paper that I give to each student and they put it on the floor. I've also used hula hoops, totally works as well. So you put the blank sheet of paper on the floor for their home base. For each round, you will call out a number. So you might say 3, and the student takes 3 steps in one direction. Then you call out another number, so you might say 5. Then they can take 5 steps in any direction as long as they're in one straight line, so they're not like circling around. When you say asteroid, then the student has to run back to their home base, and the last person to their home base gets hit by the asteroid and they are out. Now, how I use this in my music classroom is that we switch it up a little bit. So I usually have them stay at their assigned seat as their home base, and then I put a rhythm up on the board. If I'm in their classrooms, or if it's easier, I will use the printable ones, and I will read off the rhythm and they will match the number of sounds with the number of steps that they take. So for example, here we have ti 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 ta ti ti. So they would tiptoe on the ti-tis and take a step on ta. So they would go ti 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 ta ti ti, away from their spot, and then they would do whatever the next rhythm is. So ta ta ti ti ta. Then when there is an asteroid, obviously they go back to their home base. Now, if you are distance learning, you can still use this. How I adapted it for distance learning is I would project the rhythms up on the screen. We would read them off. Students would take that many steps away from their computer, which was their home base. When we got to an asteroid, they had to come back to the computer, type something in the chat, and instead of having someone get out, whoever was last, I did whoever was first would get a point, because that was a little easier to keep track of. We didn't have anyone who was like not playing because they didn't want to be out, and so it just made things a little bit easier. So whether you are distance learning, whether you are in class, or whether you need a game you can play from 6 feet away, Asteroid is the one for you.